let's go ahead and drop a few messages because our hounders should be resting. But if not, they're here. Who cares? So earlier today, I don't know, I guess after I got off the live, someone was like, oh, go to TikTok. And I went to the TikTok, right? And I've been praying. It's like God just revealed to me who they are. And it's like, here comes, I think her name was Official Cosmic with a K, Kitty. And the craziest thing about this situation was I mentioned her name earlier on the live. After the live, I remember during the live, I even said, well, this will be a person that will even go on live or do this and that. She did exactly that, right? But in the midst of it, it was just like, I didn't get triggered. I wasn't bothered. I honestly really just didn't care about what she was saying because it was just her behavior, her mannerisms, and how she was engaging with the people that said everything. And then it was just like, I'm looking at the cards and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, she's not one of those. And it gave me also, it's like what we got going on and what we got going on. You're binding and you're getting harvest off of, for one. Two, you're giving me the behavior that you're the type of person that as soon as you get off like, girl, yeah, did you see that what I had put on there? You heard what I said. You heard how I was doing this to them. But then it's at the same time, this is someone that also allowed me to know that you're immature, you're not really, you're just doing this. Is like anybody can buy tarot cards and anybody could try attempt to read them. You can give a message that unbeknownst to them, they don't know if it's right or not. All they know is that people are paying them and all these people are in, right? But then it's also allowed me to know, like, oh, you're one of the people that they had, paid to do this. Not to mention you was already on my live earlier with your little crew or with your clique, right? But then it was just like, it rubbed me the wrong way of how she was talking about it because I was like, she's literally talking about the shit I said earlier. And as I'm sitting here listening to it, which allowed me to know, okay, so you know about the court case. I was like, she's a weirdo. But I was like, let me address this. Because first of all, you're getting yourself involved in something that's going on. They're watching everybody that goes into these lives. They watch everybody who's paying for these readings. Like every tarot reader that's on TikTok, and it might be up to like less than 200. But the ones that they feel is more accurate, I want to say there's up to like, I'm gonna give or take about 100 of them that's getting close to accuracy, but those with precision is about like maybe 30 to 40 of them that are correct, accurate to precision, right? But however, it allowed me to know this person don't, for one, you're not doing a divination. Even if I was on live, it's called a personal reading. And with the personal reading is for the person, the individual. You who paid me is only about you in your world. Not, oh, what my husband doing? Do I have your husband's permission before I tap into his energy? Now, granted, I can see what he's doing. I know what he got going on, but do I have your husband's permission before I do this reading? I've been doing that for a long minute, and the reason being why I had started doing it in 2023 in particularly was because once I started noticing what was really going on in my world, I was like, yo, people, because I learned this in 2019 when my ex-husband was doing. I was like, people literally utilize this to set people's lives up. Some people will utilize it to harm people. So sometimes you have to go in and just make sure, like, hey, who I'm reading for, is it psychologically fair for this? Is this person actually genuinely coming for this? Because most of the time now I can do it and I don't mind because I know exactly what they're looking for. So when God tell me like, you can't tell them this, or stop, you can't say that, or certain things, because it'll be people paying for these readings to impede in other people's lives. And when they impeded on these other people's lives, guess what? Now we're sitting here chilling. Doop, doop, doop. Big old alert. Here you go, a news flash. Oh, such and such person ended up unaliving their wives, or this person hurt their girlfriend, strangled their girlfriend, or such and such kids got snatched up. And I'm like, they're not paying attention more or less to who are you reading for? Who are you getting informed for? I don't give a fuck if you're my friend. No, friend, don't come on live. You and I, we can do that on off live. other people. That means they're coming from other countries, other places in the world, and they trust your energy and stuff like that. But allow them to trust you that you're going to do it accurately with no mental or emotional attachment, because that's why it's like certain people where I would do it before, but I could do it with the fact because I can understand the art of detachment, where you detaching yourself energetically, psychologically, mentally, and emotionally from that person to be able to give them a precise, accurate read. Now, some people I had learned where it was like if I started getting like nervous or feeling an odd way in the reading, it allowed me to know that, hey, I can't tell this person that, or they're not prepared to hear that type of information just yet. So it'd be like very important to know about the person or the individual who you're reading for, because you, like I said, you end up reading, give them a reading, they be like, yeah, see, I knew that. It's heavy, and it's I've seen it all the time in the underwear, especially them females that be escorts and strippers, and they be like, yeah, this is the one man I want. And let it be that you doing that reader for that person and you thinking y'all buddy, cool. And unbeknownst to you, guess what? Now, with tarot being so widely spread and widely used, now they're going to start utilizing that against people and using it as a penalty. Like, oh, so you knew this person as your friend, or you knew this person as this, and you still did this reading for them, and are you the person who gave them this? And it's just like that poor little girl. I was like, I don't feel bad for her, because it's like, okay, you'll learn your lesson as soon as they start knocking on your door and asking you, okay, are you the person that runs this live? That this is your social media? And you can't be like, oh, I didn't mean to say it like that. I need to. No, baby, you got yourself involved in something so deep, and you thinking like, yeah, I'm fit to get my money and coins up off of this. Seriously, but you can go ahead and get a coin in the prison. You gonna get, she's gonna end up on, like, for her, it's like you fit to go through a tragedy. After you go through this tragedy, now you're getting a knock on the door from the police. Not only are you getting a knock on the door from the police, now you got to question and ask, like, answer questions about, okay, do you understand your involvement in this? Depending on how long this girl end up saying she done known these people, and she better not lie, because they gonna go. They already got her bank records, and for me to go ahead and say your name publicly, oh baby, they fit to look into you very deep. Give it the next 5 days, because they need Texas to go ahead and close out what it is that they need to do. But anybody that's been involved at this point, and I'm not for to say no poor her shit. You gonna get what you deserve. You can't sit here and just, well, I can do this and I'm gonna do the reading like this and I'm gonna conduct it like this, baby. You cannot, it's not no conducting it in such a manner, because now in this situation where with tarot, courts are looking at this as now, depending on how accurate and precise that you're saying certain things, and they get ready to come knock on your door and it's federal. Ain't no, oh, well, they were my friend and I did the reading because, you're under arrest, guilty by association, condoning it on the internet. Part of that, like, if I really had wanted to and I had hired an attorney, now I can go ahead and get you for not only the cyberbullying, not for the harassment. Now that's abuse, and then it's assault, because now, oh, you was it how do I take this? Were you threatening me? Were you looking to set up? Because this is an MDK situation. This is a hire plot. This is an M for hire. And you doing that reading for those people who are involved, you're just as guilty as them. And I'm like, this girl just don't get how deep in the game that you getting yourself involved in is. And for one, you know the person has a social media platform, and you had every ample opportunity to reach I know you don't know who I am, or I'm another reader and I do da 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 da, but I feel that you need to know that these people were setting up and doing this and choosing, and like someone is not grasping this concept. I don't care what tarot reader it is, YouTube, whatever, and they figure out that your name has some kind of source or tie or an affiliation or association to any person, especially to mine. I'm not able to feel bad for you at all. Now you're guilty by association. It's a hate crime. It's harassment. It's abuse. It's an assault. And now, what are you going to do with all those charges? God forbid, if you got children, what are you going to do then? You can't. What are you doing then? But then it's like, but It ain't no but I, but within, like I said, within the next 5 days for her, it might be the next 40. I'm hearing by the 30th. Cosmo, she'll go ahead and get her notification by the 30th of this month or 30th of May. It's like between now, well, I feel like she might be getting it very soon, or by the end of the year, she'll get notification. No, because I'm getting more like and it's a bigger confirmation. She's going over like, oh shoot, it really wasn't a game. No, it's not a. It would have been easier for you to just, hey, look, I get that we do this, but gang, we gotta chill out. It was no different than the girl that, she was doing really good on her reads. And then I was like, yo, this person right here, I was like, I'm calling them out. Now, mind you, you got every right, but then too, that is your live. And I wasn't interrupting, but I'm just like, yo, shorty, what you doing? And while she was doing that, she didn't grasp the concept like, yo, you reading that, then blocking it, and then still taking in money, because it was like I wanted to tell her, but I was like, too late. I can't tell you nothing now. You went on ahead and put me on block. I think her T something. And when I was doing her when I was in her readings, of course I paid for her reading for her. But then as I'm sitting there doing it, I'm like, also, low key, as she went on ahead and blocked me, I said, oh, you low key might have some involvement in it, but I mean, I hope you don't, because if you do, you're just as guilty as well to get involved. And it's like, well, they keep doing this. Well, baby, they're going to keep doing it, considering, like, look at this. If I'm warning you, like, hey, these are people cloaking themselves in other people's energy, trying to get information. And that was like my key goal, to tell her, like, hey, these are people saying that they're this zodiac sign and they're not this, or they'll say that, hey, this is mine. And even then, when people, if you're not as tuned in, them with their birth dates on there, right? Or someone be like, yeah, it's my birthday, da, 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 da. You doing these reading on these people, guess what you're doing? You just now open up a whole new can of worms. Not to mention, if people got open investigation cases, court cases, and y'all reading like people got court cases and da 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 da. If I'm reading that somebody got open court cases and stuff like that, hey, you know what? This is as much as information, unless I could just tell you, hey, in your situation, personal court cases situation, we're going to have to do that offline, not online. But even then, for the record, because they'll still look at people's record, because the person with the case, they're going to go through that person's records regardless, who you talking to, who you paid, what information did you get, what steps and precautions that you take. Because now, in that situation, you are putting yourself in the midst of being guilty by association. Like, bruh. And now, has she paid attention, she'd be like, wait a minute. Now, who are you again? I would have been like, hold on, not to block you, not to stop you, but hey, what's going on? Like, I would want to know the ins and out and the truth of the situation before I make a judgment, because you should always do that regardless of what situation. And because I was like, when I addressed it, I was like, I'm not mad and I'm not a person to start, but something didn't sit right. When it didn't sit right with my spirit, they told me to speak on it, and I was like, I didn't really want to speak on it. I don't want to cause chaos and friction, but it was like, put it out there. You got to put it out there, because if not, this will be a person that feel like it's cool, it's just they can get away with it. But then it was at the same time, it was spirit telling me, oh, this been one of those people with those high people on their social media platform to be having all these people on there, and the main target that be coming to your social media to take your content, to put their readings on, to make it seem like it's theirs. And then it's like, for something heavy in me is telling me very heavily that she's been one of the people stealing my content and using it as her own. If I had to go ahead and bake my dollar, it'll be the cosmic kitty girl that's been, stealing content, trying to use it as her own. If they've been paying her to do something, it's like one of those, tell her to do it on the spot with no cards, like to be able to do it. Those people that are just very multifaceted and, oh, I know my stuff and I know this. Okay, well, go ahead and put that card away and just tell me what it is that you could get from that person energy. Tell me what it is, the information that you can gather from this person. But I made it very clear she's about to experience a very big tragic situation with her family. And it's gonna be like, I bet you didn't see that coming because you saw what everybody else had going on, but you didn't check yourself to figure out, like, damn, I am tying myself to these same people when I'm reading their energy and I keep talking about we. When she said that what we got going on, and I was like, yeah, you a messy person. That's why it was no different from when I said, like, listen to people. You gotta listen to what they say. If they tell you they're a troller, I believe you. Oh, I lie when it comes to, okay, I'm gonna trust that you're a liar. Oh, I'm gonna play this man like this. I can take you as a person that you will play with a person's life. You gotta listen to what people say. Shit, if a female is cool to be kicking it with the group, or a female that is usually out here doing some shit, I don't think I need to find myself affiliated or associated with you in no shape, form, or fashion. Why? Because now I'm caught up in a situation that I ain't got no business being in, and you don't know what that person's life is and what they got going on. Whether you're involved or not, or someone, you can end up getting your life caught up. Just like that girl at that restaurant. Now, granted, it might have been a fight or whatever, but that girl had brothers. You think they ain't on the hunt for who that man was? I mean, who them girls was at that restaurant? And now we're gonna be sitting here watching on the news. What happened to them girls? Oh, they gone. Cause this is like, I feel like the fight that you seen up there in Chicago where them girls jumped that girl at the restaurant, that ain't gonna end well for them. I don't feel that it's gonna end well for them at all. But then this whole situation leads to somebody talking noise. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Y'all don't know how to go to sleep. Why you talking noise this early, baby? You ain't gotta be here and be a stalker. You ain't gotta be in here and be no stalker, baby. That ear started itching immediately for whoever had came in. Like, look, see, they talk about me now. See. And I said what I said, CC. Creisha, listen to this, Creisha. Look. I don't know no damn Creisha. And I definitely ain't got no motherfucking friends or a crew to try to collect people to come stalk or harass anybody. This was like my first time ever seeing that girl's live, but it was just like something just clicked automatically when I seen it. I was just like, yeah, that's her. I had mentioned that name earlier, and as soon as I hit, it was just like, it was, I wouldn't say like I got a migraine, but it was just like my nose started itching and stuff. I was like, oh, so she's one of those people that's been over here reporting content, sitting here trying to make subliminals and subbing at motherfuckers. No, I'm not gonna sub you. I'm gonna at you so you can know it's real. It's not to sit here and try to portray like, oh, it's fake. No, baby, if you want to create something, I'm gonna make sure you create it and make sure that you create it to be factual. But the only thing that I was sitting there consideration what comes with that, because it's a responsibility. Yeah, everybody want to be a reader until it comes right along with responsibility. It's going to be, it ain't no different from myself. Will there be a point in time where the feds or even the police will ask me, hey, in your reading you said this? I know that a judge or a lawyer or police officers would ask me eventually, hey, on your reading you said this, and on this you said that. You think I'm a lie? Yes, I said that. That's what it was. And then with the stuff and evidence, that physical evidence that they have, it will back it up with the accuracy. So why would I sit here and be concerned and stressed out about somebody talking about something? No, because I know the accuracy and precision behind it. I will be able to back it up. Facts, statistics, and then some. Not just to sit there to impress, to get along and get the paycheck and get the money. Those who's going to decide to get the reading from me, they're going to know it's going to be accurate, precise, with precision for them to pinpoint whatever it is that they need to do. I'm not sitting here to do it to tickle their fancy. Right or wrong, this is you. Right or wrong, this is what you got going on. The facts are the facts, but I'm not ever looking to mislead. But however, if in that reading and I feel like, whoa, you got all of this going on, may I ask you a question? You'll know the difference if that person is telling you the truth or not. Are they telling me the truth or a lie, spirit? Oh, it seems like you're telling me a lie. Your reading stops here. Moving on, close out the reading. And someone just don't get that concept, like, once I see something that ain't got no business being there, I don't need to be nosy about what, let's keep going further, let's keep going further, unless you say, hey, can we dig a little bit deeper? Reach to me on a personal line outside of being on live, because now you're looking to get everybody to dig in, but then at the same time, if I have to dig into more information, that means there's something way deeper in that situation that's going on. And some people just do certain things out of certain communication because, like I said, TikTok, it's a low person or middle, I wouldn't say middle class, a poverty's class, if I have to say it in a nice way. But anyways, onward, be blessed. Any negative energy, any evil eye being sent this way, return to sender 100-fold. Those who are needed to, be blessed, y'all be blessed. Take care.